Hey guys, so all the questions are in, and I was pretty overwhelmed with how many questions I actually got, so, thanks for asking all of these. I'm going to try and keep every answer as brief as I possibly can, unless I thought it was a particularly interesting question, because this script is really long, and I'm probably already going to break this up into 2 or 3 parts. So, right off the bat, a lot of questions were asked about what I'm playing on, what class I'm playing as, clans, raids, stuff like that, so let's answer those first. What console am I playing on? I am playing on the PS4. This is partly because of the timed exclusive content that's going to be coming to the PS4. I want to be sure I'm getting the stuff, the new content first. But it's also because I've been a PlayStation guy for 15 years. I would eventually like to have a presence on Xbox One. But when that'll happen, I'm not really sure. It's still kind of up in the air, but it probably won't be for a while. Sorry. As for what class I will be playing and race, I will be an Exo Titan first, I will be an Awoken Warlock second, and third, a Human Hunter. Those are my favorite in order, the classes. I know someone asked about my favorite classes. The reason I'll be going Titan first is because I love being in the fray. I love being in the thick of it. I've always played melee characters in MMOs. I love using shotguns. I love using, the big guns and leading the way. So that's why I chose the Titan. I haven't chosen what faction I'll be a part of yet, because we don't know anything about them. The only thing that we know are the names and the logos, and that's it. So I won't be choosing one until we learn a little bit more. Another question was if I was going to E3. I am going to go to E3. I will be at E3, and I will be working at Bungie's Destiny booth at E3 for the 3 days. So if you're going to be there and you want to say hello or something, just come find me at the Bungie Destiny booth, and I'll totally say hello to you. I will be working, but I'm sure I will find some time to chat. However, I will be still performing my YouTube duties at E3, to the best of my ability. I'm going to record any gameplay I possibly can and bring you guys the information that you're looking for. I will also be at the Sony E3 conference, so I'll probably be doing some live posting or whatever from there. The next question was about playing with me when Destiny is out, clans, stuff like that. The deal with me making a clan is, I don't know yet. Long story short, I'm in a weird life position right now that I need to kind of figure out before Destiny comes out. If I do end up having a clan, it will be very, very strict on recruitment, but I will post a video about my clan if I ever make one. I would love to play with subscribers at some point, but I can imagine it being a logistical nightmare, especially because the largest group of people I could have at a time is only 5, and myself for PvE content. Add in the fact that I need to make videos, add in the fact that people live in different time zones and, lag and all that kind of stuff. And now you can imagine how difficult it might be. I imagine playing with subscribers, should that happen, when that will happen. It's not going to happen until until after the first month or 2 of Destiny being out. And I've done, all the content that I've wanted to do that I wanted to kind of push out quickly. So now let's get to some more specific questions. Terabyte TC and Philip de Koning both have similar questions. Where, when, and how did you first learn about Destiny, and what sparked the idea of making videos about it? And Philip asks, I'm very curious to why you are into Destiny. I first learned about Destiny in March 2013 after I watched the GDC presentation. I did some more research after that, and I kind of learned what this game was going to be about, and it really caught my interest really quickly. I got very interested because it has a lot of those MMO-like aspects, and I'm a really big fan of MMOs. I haven't been able to play one for quite some time in the way that I want to because of the time commitment. With Destiny, I don't think the time commitment will be as big. Plus, it combines 2 of my favorite genres, MMOs and FPS. I know Destiny is not an MMO, but it has a lot of MMO aspects to it. You guys know what I'm saying. As for YouTube, I had given up on my Call of Duty channel, which was around 2,600 subscribers in November 2013. That's when I ended it, but I still really wanted to make YouTube content, partly because it's fun, partly because I had a rather long stint of unemployment, so I needed something to do to keep my brain from turning to mush. I saw that not many people were doing YouTube coverage of Destiny. I put out a big what we know kind of video that I poured 30 or 40 hours into, and it was pretty well received on Reddit, and I went from there. The next question, something in my eye. Stephen Rigby, after posting your raid video and getting mentioned by Deej, have your expectations shifted for Destiny's raids? Do we know if raids and competitive multiplayer will still keep to 3-person fire teams? If they stick with fire teams, it'd be awesome to have Battlefield-like squad rewards and maybe squad-related loot, stuff like that. Do you think that this would be likely? First question, my expectations haven't really shifted at all. In fact, they've kind of been validated, semi-validated. I actually thought my video might paint Destiny in a light that people at Bungie might not want to have people see it in, since there was such a heavy emphasis on MMOs and their mechanics in the video. Raids are going to be 6-person teams. PvP we'll learn more about at E3, but we know that 3v3 is not the only game mode in PvP. I don't know about the option to queue as a fire team, if that's what you're asking. And as for Battlefield-esque features, like squad rewards, I think those are a bit unlikely. I think any loot that you get from PvP are going to come from some kind of points you might earn while doing things in PvP. But like I said, E3 will, hopefully clarify many answers to competitive multiplayer. I'm going to use competitive multiplayer and PvP interchangeably, just because PvP is way easier to say. Ims Wems, do you think Destiny will be everything it's hyped up to be? Will the game truly live up to the massive benchmark that Halo has set? I absolutely think this game is going to live up to expectations. The fact that we're going to have something new to do every single day of this 10-year franchise is something that we've never seen in a game before. $500 million is being spent on this franchise. That's Grand Theft Auto 5 and Pirates at World's End budgets put together. It's going to be massive. More Console asks, how did you get so damn sexy? I think it started in college when I decided to part my hair off to the side instead of just having it fall on my face. Things really picked up for me after that. I had my own TV show on the campus TV station. I made the Dean's List. I was given a Student Leadership Award. So I would say, yeah, the moment that I decided to part my hair off to the side. Of course, you got to thank Mamo and Datto for their genes as well. Forsaken Noble sent in this Bungie.net level of a question. Noble, I'm going to pop you in the mouth if I see you talk like that again. Brian Castillo, I was wondering, since Destiny will always be online, how will it handle lag? Destiny will, I assume, try to only group you with people in your immediate area via their network mesh system. I'm in Los Angeles, so the servers will always try and match me with people on the West Coast so that, our pings aren't all over the place. They're pretty similar. This is a pretty basic description of how I imagine it might work. Joshua Yao, sorry. Why don't as many people play older games whose multiplayer could just be as good as the new ones, i.e. Halo 3 and Halo 4? I think it's because of the sheer fact that older games just don't get played as often as newer ones. Another reason might be DLC. You might have specific DLC, and DLC tends to divide the population. I know on the Call of Duty side of things, the developers tend to not really care about their past games, and they don't really support them anymore when the new one comes out. So hacking becomes a much bigger problem, which turns off a lot of players from playing it. However, on PC, Black Ops 2 gets more play than Ghosts, and Ghosts is the newest game. Even Modern Warfare 2 and 3 are really close in terms of peak players, so it really depends on, I guess, the quality of the game as well. Ghost59able asks, what do you think of world building? What do you think about building an IP? This is a really broad question. I guess it depends on a lot of things. For instance, the purpose of the game. Is it single player focused like Skyrim or Mass Effect, or is it multiplayer focused like Destiny, World of Warcraft? one common denominator that we've seen with all these examples is having a very strong foundation. And what I mean by that is a meticulously crafted lore or world. Immersion is a big part of the video game experience, and inhabiting these literally epic games is that much more fun when the developer puts the time and effort into creating a believable world. The games I've also listed have another commodity, which is an emphasis on individuality in a social world. All 4 games, you create your own character, give them a name, etc., etc. This character represents you within that virtual realm, and I think that extensive customization is a big plus for any IP that wants to be taken seriously and have big player retention rates. Everyone wants to express their individuality, look different from the hundreds of thousands of other players, and character creation is the best place to start. I'm a much bigger multiplayer guy, so obviously I'm kind of focusing on WoW and Destiny here, but these points still do apply to single player somewhat. Thomas Biernacki, what are your plans, if any, to post Destiny-related videos after Destiny is out? Will we get to see gameplay, walkthroughs, and guides? If so, I would very much like to watch them. I have a lot of plans for post-release Destiny. Raid guides are the number one thing I want to be focusing on, but I do have a lot of other ideas as well. Weapon guides covering the emissary quests that maybe not everyone gets to see, walkthroughs for each planet, and a whole bunch more stuff. So it's going to be good. Atomic Prodigy. Will there be transmogging like from World of Warcraft? Do I say what? Okay, so for those who don't know what transmogging is, it's transmogrification, which is a thing in World of Warcraft where you can change any piece of gear that you have to look like another piece of gear. So it's basically you're trading your weapon or armor skin for a different skin. Based on Bungie's GDC panel from this year, we'll see some customization options possible for our loot, but I think the act of transmog being in Destiny, that literal just change from one piece of gear to another in terms of weapon skins, is really unlikely. Because Bungie has said that they want your loot to stand out. That when you get a really rare piece of loot, people are going to be like, oh, where'd you get that? Or, they're really going to know the kind of trials and tribulations that you went through to kind of get it. To be able to transmog your stuff to look like that you have the best stuff in the game kind of feels like cheating. Mio asks, can you TLDR Destiny? Destiny is an action RPG shooter. I think that's about as short as I could possibly say it. Yeah, TLDR. Action RPG shooter. LP Fan Titan. If you could create your own 4th class, what would it be? I guess I'd kind of make something to fit that 4th archetype that we've seen in most shooters, which is that engineer class, dropping turrets and stuff like that. A bit more support based. I'm not very original. Plus, I don't know what kind of class you could really introduce while sticking to Bungie's vision of the game, which is mainly shooting guns. Once you get more magic focused or non-gun focused, it kind of veers the game off into a different direction. Another class I guess I'd like to see is some sort of crowd control based one, incapacitating enemies so your team can focus fire better or, kind of survive the enemy onslaught. But, it kind of falls into that non-gun shooting category. Jez asks, if Destiny had a Forge-like world builder, do you think and would you want user-created raids? Definitely. Even as just for the challenge of the raid, user-created raids would be absolutely a welcome addition to Destiny in my eyes. There's always going to be an issue of players eating up the content that faster than developers can make it. The only people who can keep up with the people are the people themselves. So yes, that would be excellent. Collateral Vigilante. Was there anything that made you have so much faith in Destiny, or did it just happen? I think it was just kind of like the storied history of Bungie combined with my desire to have an MMO-like experience again. It kind of first, caught my interest at the GDC panel, and just from there, my interest has been growing ever since. PvP JCJ asks, does Destiny support a ballistic system for the sniper-only classes? Is there an element to keep in mind, like bullet drop or wind direction, for example, when using long-range bolt-action rifles? I doubt it. I really, really doubt Destiny's going to feature any kind of ballistic system for snipers, and you're probably not going to have to account for wind or bullet drop in Destiny. I don't think it really fits with the game. We're not going to be seeing like a Battlefield-like gun experience with Destiny. It's not really the aim of the game. Flingo Fletch, you have a lot of awesome music. Could you give us a playlist of it or something so we could listen to it while we are playing our games? Also, what are your religious beliefs? Those are very, very varying questions. If you're talking about the music that I stream with, I have a playlist on Spotify called Datto's Hard Rock and Metal, which features a lot of the bands that I like listening to, along with some very random songs that I like. So you can go feel free to find it on Spotify. It doesn't have a lot on there. It's only about 20 hours. If you're talking about the music I use for videos, it's just kind of background royalty-free tracks that I'm able to use on YouTube without any sort of issues. It's just the most basic stuff I can find that I think fits the background. And all of those songs are in the descriptions of all my videos. Religious beliefs, I am Jewish by convenience. My family is not religious at all. I'm agnostic. I really do not care. Pyromaniacal. I echo Morse Console's question, but in regards to your legs, also t-shirts. T-shirts. I do not anticipate on making t-shirts or any sort of other merch available on the channel for quite some time. I know I've said on my stream, partly as a joke, that at 50,000 subscribers, I'd make t-shirts. Let's just say at my current rate, that's not going to happen for another 2.5 years. Although, please feel free to help me hit that marker a little bit faster.